Alright, this is my second video on transformations of exponential and logarithmic functions. So I'm actually going to show you what writing some transformations looks like. So given the function f of x equals 2 to the raised to the x, we're going to write the transformation for the function, which is a slide to the left 3 and up 3. So we have to slide left 3 and up 3. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to break it down into two parts. The first part is I'm just going to carry out the first transformation, which is slide to the left 3. So if I'm sliding left 3, I got to think, am I dealing with A, H, or K? I know that if I'm dealing with a slide to the left 3, I'm dealing with H. So what I'm doing is I don't care about A, so I'm not going to write about that. I'm changing H. And if I want to slide to the left 3, remember H is a liar, I'm not going to do minus 3, I'm actually going to do x plus 3 there. So I need to do f of x plus 3. Again, I don't have k there or a there because I'm not dealing with that transformation right now, just sliding left 3. The thing you should notice here is I originally had this function equals the 2x. I used to have it just a plain old x in the parentheses here. Now it's been replaced with an x plus 3. So when I go over here on the right side of the equal sign, I used to have an x there, but just like the x over here, it's now replaced with x plus 3. So that's going to look like 2. Instead of raised to the x, it's going to be raised to x plus 3. Now I want to look at that and ask myself, is there any simplifying I can do there? With most of these problems, you'll find there is not a whole lot. It's pretty restricted. So this becomes my new function. So I'm kind of done with this guy. I'm just focusing on f of x equals 2 raised to the x plus 3. The second part of my problem says I also need to slide up 3. So I need to think about, am I dealing with A, H, or K? Well, if you want to slide up 3, that's not a vertical stretch or shrink. That's not a slide left or right. It's a slide up down. So we're dealing with K. So if I want to slide up 3, I'm not going to worry about writing A or H. I have f of x, and instead of plus k, I'm going to put plus 3. So we're going to do kind of another little substitution here. I have an f of x here. I know what f of x is. So I'm going to take this and write it in place of that. So that's going to look like 2 raised to the x plus 3. So I replaced my f of x with 2x plus 3. 2 to the raised to the x plus 3. I still need a plus 3 on the back, so I'm going to put that as a plus 3 on the back. And a way to kind of check myself here is I can look at this and say, well, if you're very good at identifying transformations, like, yeah, that's a slide up, that's a slide left 3. So I have both pieces there. That is my new function. One more quick example, but this time I'm going to show you with a log function. So given the function g of x equals log base 3 of x, write the transformation for the function reflected over the x-axis and slide up 3. So first thing I need to do is reflect over the x-axis. So I got to think back, well, which variable am I dealing with, a, h, or k? If I'm going to reflect, that's dealing with a. More importantly, I'm going to do a negative f of x. I'm going to write this one a little bit differently. It might be just to show you a different way of writing these out. Maybe it might be easier for you. Well, actually, I don't want that because we're dealing with g of x. So to be a little bit more precise, it's negative g of x. So what I'm dealing with here is, well, I have a negative out front, but now I have g of x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write what g of x stands for. So this is saying up here, g of x is log base 3 of x. So I'm going to take all of that and plug it in for g of x. So that's going to be log base 3 of x. Now looking at that, I ask myself, is there any simplifying that can go on there? There's nothing, so this becomes my new g of x function. The second part of this says, and slide up 3. So I need to slide up 3. If I'm doing that, I think, again, am I dealing with A, H, or K? I am actually dealing with K. If I want to slide up 3, I'm going to do a g of x plus 3. I'm going to do another basic substitution there. I need to plug in for g of x. Well, g of x is equal to negative log base 3 of x. So I'm going to put a negative log base 3 of x. One more thing left there is I have a plus 3. I ask myself, is there any simplifying I can do there? There is nothing, so that is my function. These do take a little bit of practice. It's just a whole bunch of substitution, but also recognizing what a, h, and k stand for. So those are some basic examples on transformations of exponential and logarithmic functions.